Hi everybody, I'm Jim with Four Wheel in Arkansas, and I am here at Gunner's Pool Campsite, and I rolled in here last night, and one of my neighbors camping right across is Stacy, and I never did hear your last name. You can say it or not, doesn't matter to me.
Eary.
What is Gary?
Eary.
Okay, G-A-R-Y?
E-A-R-Y.
E-A-R-Y.
Mm-hmm.
And so we hung out around the campfire last night and just kind of hung out and visited and all that. And I conned him into coming over here this morning and sitting down for a coffee break because I haven't done one of these in a little while. So you were talking about, I got up this morning and made you some cup of Grant Brothers coffee, and you was telling me what you think of that.
Yeah, it tastes great.
Yeah, it's really good stuff.
Yeah.
And like I was telling you last night, the folks that make this are a young couple up here out of Nix, Missouri, and I've met them and back in November, and so we've kind of formed a relationship, and they've kind of signed on as a sponsor and all that.
Yeah.
And so anyway, but yeah, love it. So and you can order. I'll give you the link and everything where you can order a bag of it. It's all whole bean, so it's got to be ground and stuff. But I absolutely love it. So
it does taste good.
Anyway, so we were talking a little bit, and you were kind of a little different spin on what we do with the Jeeps and stuff. You are kind of an adventure runner,
right? Yep.
And that's why he's a lot thinner than I am. So so tell us a little bit about that. Where have you been, done that? Because we were talking a little bit, you've done some of the areas that we run in also.
Yeah, I've been here for probably just a little over a month, kind of on and off, going back home a little bit and doing some training here, getting some training done. Then I went up, did the race, and then had the radiator situation like I was telling you. And went back home for a little bit, then headed back out, went over to around Lake Sylvia, and then up to Petty Jean, then Mount Magazine, and Hawksville Craig, Eureka, and then kind of ventured back here.
Yeah. So you've been. So how often do you? I mean, I guess this time of year is probably the perfect time of year. Probably don't do a lot in the dead of the summer. I wouldn't think. It's hot and humid as it gets.
Yeah, I kind of, the mileage and everything, because as far as races and everything goes, I kind of like dial down on as far as like, doing the, more mileage and everything.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. So how long have you been doing that? I mean,
oh man, as far as just running in general, I'd say probably around 2012. Probably about 2012. Now trail running, I kind of converted over to it probably about 2018, 2019, somewhere in there.
Oh, very cool.
So I like it a lot better.
Yeah, well, yeah, a lot less people. So you probably started like doing like the half marathons and stuff like that, all kind of pavement pounding and stuff like
5Ks, 10Ks, and then, it just progressed.
Yeah.
Half marathons, full marathons.
Okay.
Yeah.
I am jealous. I wish I could do that. I have a buddy that I grew up with years ago, and he lives in Florida now, but I think he's done a few of them over the years, and a big old tall guy. He's like, 6'6", and and so, but I think he's done a little bit of that. I never could bring myself to do it.
Well, you see all kinds. I mean, you see big, tall, thin,
I'm sure.
Heavy, when doing, like long distance. And it's something else.
Yeah. So you got, before I forget about it, now you say you some of your stuff is on Instagram. How can they find you on Instagram?
I think I just got back on there recently, and I'll have to look at it here in a minute.
Okay.
It's I don't remember exactly because I changed the name of what it used to be. It used to be Trail Runner. And I'll look at it here in a little bit.
Okay, yeah, it's no problem. I'll put a link in the bottom of it.
Okay.
People can find you if they need to and kind of follow along with kind of what you're doing there. You showed me excuse me, a couple of clips last night, which is kind of interesting. So I think that's fascinating. Now you had yesterday morning, I think you said, or the other morning, you had an interesting run-in down here on the trail. Tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah, I did.
It's unfair because I've heard all this. We talked about this last night, and I'm going to make you talk about it again because it's cool.
It's kind of actually the first time, because usually everything goes real good. And but I got just about a half a mile in between Gunner and Blanchard, and I came up on some hogs, and I wasn't for sure what it was at first. It kind of like startled me. I thought it was like a bear maybe, and so I stopped and I kind of was looking, and I noticed, I heard the hogs and everything, and then I started seeing the babies come out of that hole that was in the bottom of that tree, and so after that I went ahead and started running after they done cleared out. And on my turnaround coming back, I ended up running into a rattlesnake that was in the trail.
Oh no!
So that wasn't, Really, I don't ever see snakes on the trail either. But the trails hadn't been, upkept, very much or anything. So,
Right. Yeah.
I can understand that.
Well, and I was telling you too. I seen a lot of wildlife coming in last night just before dark. I seen a deer. And we always see a lot of deer.
Mm-hmm.
But then I seen 3 hogs about a mile up the road here.
Yeah.
And then there was some kind of black snake. Couldn't see what it was. I filmed it. But look, it was either a black snake or a copperhead or something like that. It was kind of a darker pattern, but I did see a pattern on its back. And usually don't see them with the black snakes, so it's likely a copperhead. And it's probably 2.5, 3 feet long,
Yeah.
I mean, and it just kind of sitting there stretched out right at the edge of the road, and it never did move.
Yeah.
I drove by it, and I thought, oh, there's a snake. And I thought, well, let me film that. So I went probably 50 yards past it, and I got my camera out and got it started. And as I backed right up to it, and it was just sitting there and had its head off the ground just a little bit, but never moved a muscle.
Yeah.
And I sat there and filmed it and looked at it a little bit, trying to figure out what it was. And finally drove away, but it never did move a muscle. Just never moved.
Yeah.
And so it's amazing how they can kind of do that. I mean, unless you're just, and I just caught it out of the corner of my eyes. I was coming by, I thought that's too straight to be a stick,
Yeah.
That doesn't look like natural angles, and so it kind of caught my eye. But that was and then seen 2 or 3 turkeys after I got off the road too, all on that 6 mile stretch. So yeah, there's a lot of wildlife out right now.
It is. Yeah.
Yeah. So you said you're from Jonesboro.
Originally from Brinkley.
Yeah.
But I live in Jonesboro.
Yeah, because we were talking about that I used to hunt down there at St. Charles.
Yep.
Or still do a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, that's kind of, so we had a really with people that we kind of know. He follows a lot of the YouTube stuff and anyway, so we kind of know some of the same people, or I know some of the people that you watch.
Yeah.
I don't know that you've met them, but this is a really small community. So once you kind of get to know people, it just, everybody's kind of tied together in one way or another.
Right.
And so, but anyway, I got Stephen Moore, my buddy up there. He's actually done a couple of these coffee breaks with me, and he's from up there and works up there. So I was actually camped with him about a month ago. Not too far. Well, we were down in the not the Boston Mountains, but St. Francis. Ozark St. Francis down there. We done some trails for OnX. I was doing some trail guiding for OnX on a trail that I'd run, and so we spent a weekend camping, and him and my buddy Jason. So that was kind of fascinating. So you said you've camped here quite a bit at this particular.
Yeah.
I've been here 3 or 4 times or more maybe, but I've never ever camped here. But this was kind of a neat little spot. Got bathrooms handy. It's nice. It was quiet.
Mm-hmm.
I try to avoid these places. I tried to go more primitive because, it seems like it's quieter. You get people coming in and drinking and raising cane and doing everything, which is fine. I mean, it is what it is. But so I try to avoid that. But I was actually surprised. It was we sat up until almost midnight. Well, after midnight last night, we didn't even realize it was that late before we went to bed.
Mm-hmm. Well, sometimes down in the lower though, it kind of.
Oh, okay. That's kind of where that's at.
Yeah,
that's kind of the quieter spot.
Yeah,
well, I picked right then.
Yeah,
so,
right.
Which was really cool because you've been here for like a week camped here and trail riding, and you've met some of the other people that are down here and got to hang out with, and so that was kind of interesting.
Real good guy back down there.
Yeah, he's got a van, like a conversion van, which I just drove by it last night, and I thought that was very cool. And then you have and I need to take a picture of you too, kind of what you're doing. Tell me about your rig a little bit and how you got it set up.
The Jeep Cherokee Trailhawk.
And that's a Trailhawk.
Yep.
Okay.
And
I didn't even realize that last night. Yeah.
Yeah, and I was doing the tents, all the time, and I kind of started doing just the vehicle, and I like it a lot better.
Yes, actually sleeping in the vehicle.
Set up and the takedown and everything, it's a lot easier, a lot quicker. So yeah, I prefer that really over the tents.
I would love to be able to do that, and there are people that do it, but you lose the back seats on a Jeep. It's just so short.
Yeah.
But no,
those seats, they fold down. A lot of seats in vehicles, they still have like an incline.
Yeah, mine does.
And those fold down flat,
perfectly flat. Okay.
And throw my air mattress. Use that, and in the morning you can just it's real easy to take down and just get everything back to normal.
Yeah, that what I have found over doing this, because we've tried a lot of things. If it is hard to set up or takes a long time or it's labor intensive, I'm not going to use it.
Right.
I'm just not. When I roll into camp, I want to get out of the Jeep and park. And not that I ever do, but I want to be able to climb up there and go to bed, be ready to go to bed in 5 minutes.
Yep.
And that's kind of how I'm set up. And so there's a lot of things that are really nice and really handy to have, but if they take too long, they just never get pulled out of the Jeep.
Right.
And so everything that I do is the same way. It's about quick and easy, quickest way to get it set up and get to doing what I want. I mean, I have tables that I can set out. So if I'm going to cook a big meal, I can do that. But a lot of times it's just like now, just like this morning. I come in last night and I've literally not pulled anything out of the Jeep other than my camp light and my coffee pot this morning, and I did put the awning up because it was started sprinkling a little bit, and I knew we were going to sit down and we wanted to sit up underneath the awning a little bit. But yeah, if it's not quick and easy to use, I'm just not going to use it. And so that's what I love about kind of the way that you're set up. Now, have you done anything to it obviously you got off-road tires on it a little bit, or that may be what come on it, I don't know.
Yeah, I basically just left it the way it is, except like you said, except for the tires. A little bit bigger tires than stock tires. And
they're kind of an all-terrain kind of.
And it's been kind of a learning process, as far as what I needed, because there was a lot of stuff that I had that I didn't need. Right. So it was kind of a little bit of a learning process at first. Yeah. So. He's wanting to go check out the fire.
Yes, he is. So what all basically do you think? So you're kind of minimalist now. You've kind of got to where you're more minimalist. I know.
I like the minimalist. Yep. I do like that. And also, like the backpacking stuff, I haven't done that yet, but I've got like all the stuff, to like backpack, the minimalist stuff as far as backpacking. So I've kind of learned it from that.
Yeah.
And
no,
it's
absolutely.
A lot simpler.
Well, and that goes back into the smaller, lighter, because if you actually got to pack it on your back, ounces matter, to where mine, I deal in pounds, I mean, if I can cut a pound or two here or there, it makes a big difference. But when you're carrying that on your back, I mean, I've got a buddy I was telling you about last night that does a lot of backpacking and hiking and stuff like that. And I mean, he's measuring stuff in ounces, I mean, just what he brings for coffee, he'll bring enough for, if he's going to be there 2 days, he brings enough coffee for 2 days, of coffee. And because every ounce matters when you're packing it for, miles and miles and miles. And so I've not got there. I'm getting better as far as the minimalist stuff. And what I normally do is a couple of times a year, I start going through my pack out, and I'll just take a weekend, and anything that I haven't used in the last 6 months, it's like that's a want, that's not a need. Other than tools and stuff, and I probably carry more tools than what I probably need to, but because I carry a half-inch drive impact.
Right.
I could carry a star wrench. Excuse me. I could carry a star wrench, but I don't want to do that, If I'm gonna have a flat and I want to change a flat, I don't want that extra work. I just want to get it done so I can get on down the road. So I do have little things like that, but I do, if I don't use it for 6 months, it comes out. Other than tools, and I do carry a little bit of extra wiring, but I've had like things on my awning, or I'll have, my diesel heater, I'll have to, change it. So I do carry it. I have one of those little pack out boxes that I have some wiring stuff in. I have a small roll of wire and clips and, and crimps and things like that, just to kind of get by in the woods. But for the most part, it's pretty much stuff that I use every time that I go out, The other thing that I won't scrimp on is a chair. I have a small camp chair. I seen that you had another, like a hiking chair down there with you, and I have one of those in here that my grandson uses, and I carry because they can stay in here because I never know when he's going to come. But I just, when I'm sitting around camp, I want to be comfortable. I don't want to be fighting to get in and out of a chair and all that, and I don't want it flimsy, or, so that there's some things you just don't scrimp on. But it's amazing how much you can lighten up a rig just by, just by figuring out what you actually need and what you don't need versus what you want. You have to bring all your needs, but you want here and there, but it doesn't consume your whole buildup. Otherwise, you'll have a 10,000-pound vehicle that, you can't get down the road.
And it's kind of a learning process.
it changes all the time.
It does.
I don't think you're ever done with it.
Yeah.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
So you have an air mattress, sleeping bag, and I said you had a cooler or something, or you use a cooler. You don't use a refrigerator or anything. And you've been here for like a week, you said.
Yeah.
So obviously a good quality. You have to have a pretty good quality cooler to stay out that long.
Yep. Use the Yeti. Use the old Yeti.
Yeah.
And it does great.
Yep.
Usually everything's pretty good. You know, the air mattress, it's real comfortable. I use a big Agnes, and it's real comfortable. And a small little air, thing, the air
pump. Yep.
Yep. And just a USB charge on it. The little flex tail.
Yep.
Flex tail.
Yeah. And then you use Power Station. You said you have a Blue Eddy. We were talking about that last night. You have the same Power Station that I run in mine, which I think those are incredible.
Yeah, they are.
Yeah. But you probably don't need a whole lot of power, though, either. You're not really running a lot for power, Doesn't sound like anyway.
I don't. Usually just a fan, which I have a small fan that I run at nighttime. The fan, my phone, keep my phone charged. And I use like an outdoor light sometimes. I charge it in the little flex tail, the pump, the air pump.
Yeah.
And other than that, that's about it.
So really, yeah. I mean, you're even better than I am, because I tell everybody I'm limited. They're like, well, how long can you stay out? Well, as long as I have gas in the Jeep, because I drive every day.
Yeah.
And food. Those are my two limitations. Power, it recharges, and all that.
Yeah.
So basically, until I need food or gas or water, and I usually carry a case of water plus 2 gallons in the roto pack that I wash dishes and clean up and stuff with. But that's basically what my 3 limitations are. And that's, when you think about it, when you get right down to your needs, that's basically all you need,
Yeah.
So I can stay out quite a while. And you're even in a different position, because you're not necessarily driving all the time. I mean, you show up in a place like this, stay for a week and do now, how long are you planning on staying?
I might head back out Monday, because I think it's supposed to be a lot of rain this next week. So I might head back out.
Okay.
Might head back home for a little bit and kind of hang out there, and maybe if the weather breaks and everything, kind of get back out.
So what do you do for a living?
Weld.
Oh, that's right. You told me that. You did.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're a welder.
I've been welding.
So how can you stay out so long and still?
Well, actually, I'm on a furlough, and I took a voluntary, so that kind of gave me this opportunity to do this.
Oh, okay. Okay. So it isn't normal. You're not out this,
right?
Usually vacations and
usually
stuff like
a weekend.
That. Yeah.
Usually a weekend.
Okay.
Weekend thing.
So this has been. Now, are you married or?
No, single.
Single. So yeah, you can kind of get away and do this kind of. So yeah, you can spend a lot of time doing this. Yeah.
But this all worked out real good, to kind of get a little bit of time off and everything. So
yeah.
Took the opportunity.
Yeah. No, absolutely. Yeah. No, this is very cool. And this is, like I said, I love this place.
Yeah.
We come by here and we'll roll through. We don't really spend any time here. We'll stop and use the bathrooms on our way through or something when we're trailing by or whatever, but never really spend any time here. And this is, now I know the swimming hole and all that's just right down over the creek right here. Now it is a little busy. There's probably 2 or 3 other people here.
More than what it usually through the weekday, it's usually not hardly anybody. Sometimes it's not really anybody here.
Yeah.
But the other guy down there, he's been here all this week also.
Yeah.
And other than that, usually it's pretty, cleared out.
Yep.
Until the weekends.
No, very cool. Very cool. Yeah. Well, nope, I love your rig. I think that's just perfect for what you do. And I like the way you have it set up and everything just easy. And, we sat over there last night around the campfire and forever it seemed like, I think I rolled in about 8 o'clock or a few minutes after 8:30 maybe. And then we ended up talking. It was like, I looked at my watch, it was like 12:30. I'm like, holy cow, I got to go to bed, But now, we do anything today or you'll
probably run. I'll probably get a run in today.
Do you usually do that in the early, late, midday?
I'm more of a midday to afternoon runner. Yeah. And I don't know if that's really good because, all the races are usually in the morning.
Yeah.
And it's kind of good to get yourself kind of in tuned.
Yeah. Now, when's your next race you got coming up?
I hadn't got anything scheduled.
You don't?
Except for that one that I was telling you about. I think it's in August or September. The one over on the Cossatot River. Yeah. And I might do that. I've kind of got my mind and my eyes, kind of set on that.
Yeah. But if I was going to run, I will tell you, if I was going to be a runner, and that'll never happen. If you see me running, it means the laxative's working, type of deal. I've drove a truck for over 35 years now, so it's just, that's not in the cards for me. I don't have the ambition to do it, and my body wouldn't hold up to it after bouncing around truck my back and everything else. I don't think I could ever do it anyway. But if I was going to do that, running through places like this would be, which we were talking about that last night. We come from entirely different lives and backgrounds and all that stuff. And the fact that just, even though we can have different hobbies, completely different, we come together in a place like this and meet, kind of hang out and have a great time.
Right.
Because we have something in common being out here, in the wilds of nature. And this isn't really the wilds. I mean, it's, it's got its comforts too.
Right.
But just nature and being outdoors and all that. And I have yet to run across people that I just don't like, or not friendly, or, it's not like going to the mall or something where you never know what you're going to run across. You get out here and you kind of have like-minded people and people you can sit and even though our hobbies are very different, they're still got some things in common that that's what fascinates me about about doing kind of what I do, and being able to meet people to do similar but different. And I don't know, it's a huge community. And so anyway, this is very cool, I think. So for me, I love this.
So
So, and meet some very interesting people from all over. We've met some people in a campsite that we met here, I don't know, 6 or 8 months ago. They're from Wichita, Kansas. She's a pediatric nurse practitioner, I think, maybe. And then he works for he builds airplanes, Cessna airplanes, and got to be really good friends. We do stuff with them all the time. We meet with them every couple of months. Seems like we're doing something with them, hanging out. Matter of fact, in a couple of weeks we're supposed to be over in Kansas. And his wife and my wife and some of our friends and our, everybody just kind of hit it off. So we, they've turned out to be just wonderful friends. People we keep up with and talk to, and plan stuff to do stuff together. So but we're supposed to go over to Kansas and do some trail riding over in the Flint Hills and stuff where they live. So but this is kind of how we met them, just kind of like we did last night. We just, hey, let's sit down and share a cup of coffee and hang out and all that. And some turned out to be some of our best friends. So but anyway, so is there anything else that you want people to know about you, the 6 people who are going to watch this?
Not really. That's basically everything, which I keep up, I've always kept up with a few people on the YouTube, and that's where, I learn, you learn a lot of stuff, as far as if you're doing adventures or trail running or whatever, whatever whatever
your niche is.
And which there's a few people that I watch a lot, and I enjoy watching them. Been watching a few of them like several years. So,
oh yeah. Well, and it's what I like about it. I tell people I have a PhD in YouTube watching. I'm a YouTube how-to guy. I do that all the time, even for stuff around the house. I've done that before, but I wonder if there's a better way to do that. I'll pull it up and watch 2 or 3 videos, and I'm like, that's not probably. I think my way is going to be easier than that. But there's a lot of times you're like, well, yeah, that makes a lot more sense than what I had in my mind to do it. So yeah, I do that stuff all the time too. And there's some characters. What's funny is a lot of people that I watch doing what I did. When you're when you're new, getting in, trying to figure out what you want to do with your vehicle and kind of what you want to do with it. Because even with what I do, there's so many different. Some people they want to run these gravel roads and find campsites like this and find swimming holes, and they just want to get to places like this. That's absolutely amazing. Well, they don't need necessarily what I have. They don't spend what I've spent building this one to do this. I mean, I'm I kind of love the trail riding part of it too, and I like technical trails, and I like to do harder trails, and I like to get where most people can't get. And so so that's what goes back to that primitive thing. So I want to see the cool sites, like you hike to a lot of them that there's no way I'm going to get to in this. But there's a lot of things that I can get to that you probably can't hike to unless you're willing to hike miles and miles and miles. So all kinds of, that's what's different about it. But it's kind of neat because you're all in this kind of the same space and you get ideas. I mean, I'm sure I'm going to go buy a trail hunter and I'm going to, you kind of you evolve with. I don't think you're ever done building one.
Yeah.
You know, you're always changing.
Yeah, and I've actually had a car. It was a hatchback before this, and so then I did have to really do the tent.
Yeah,
you know,
yeah.
I didn't have no option, and I did do the tents, and which was fine, you know, and
Sure.
but I couldn't, you know, had this idea here, and this worked out
really well. Yeah, it's a cool setup, and you can go. I've heard that those things are pretty doggone capable as far as trails and stuff like that.
They are, and I didn't know that either until I watched some YouTube videos on it, and yeah, it can do some pretty amazing things.
Yeah, I think most people don't realize really the true capability. I mean, you don't have to build them out to be wild and crazy. Even a stock, you know, a stock vehicle, they will do more than what most people think they will.
Yeah,
you know, they're, you know, now a lot of it is a mindset going in. I mean, if you have recovery gear so you can self-recover, then you can actually find out what it is capable of, but you got to be able to get yourself out before you do that, you know? And so that's probably a big thing that we do. I mean, even me, I don't, you know, there's a lot of things that I won't do when I'm by myself that I will do if I've got a buddy with me. They can jerk me out of a hole or something, you know? Even though I could self-recover, I'd probably get myself out of about anything that any of my buddies could. But you just don't take those chances, you know? So, but yeah, I think that's crazy because we'll be going with people that I have a buddy, and I was telling you about him. He drives truck, and he's got a little Nissan Frontier, and he's got a small lift on it, 2.5-inch lift, and he's on 33s now. He just went to 33s. He was on 31s, the stock 31s before, and he follows me everywhere I go in this thing. Mine built like it is, you know. I mean, he literally follows me every trail, every line. He went to Michigan with us. He's been to literally everywhere.
Right.
And he just right on through it and has no problems. My wife's cousin, and he's got a stock Gladiator on 33s, and he goes everywhere with me. So, you know, but then we have other people that are built out that, you know, that are actually built more than they are. No, we can't, you know, I don't think we can get through that. And it's, well, you know, you can. I understand you may not want to.
Yeah.
And I get that. And if you don't want to, we'll turn around and do something else.
Yeah.
But most people's vehicles are more capable than the people are. You know, because they're just not willing to, you know, they don't know how capable they really are. But these things are crazy where they go. You know,
it is.
And even yours, I've seen some stuff on yours. You know, I've never actually been out in the woods with one wheeling, but I've, you know, seen some videos of people running them, and they're doing some crazy things with those things. And
that
really
surprised me, you know, from the videos that I've watched, what they can do.
Yeah. No, but for what you're using, I mean, it's a perfect package for what you're doing. And what's neat about it's kind of a sleeper too, because you don't even know it. I mean, outside it looks just the way it did from the factory. You know, other than a little bigger tire and all that, but then it's kind of set up to be out here doing this, which is, you know, I think that's very cool too. Mine's pretty obvious. Mine's purpose built, you know, and there's no hiding what I do with mine, which, you know, it's kind of the reason I've built it that way, to be that way. But I like that, you know, I mean, this one I can't, if I take it on a trip, you know, I'm probably not going to get in this and drive it to the West Coast, just to go, you know, to all interstate or anything. But I do like that yours is set up to where you can do that. You know, basically just take off and go wherever and then live out of it too. So anyway, Stacy, I appreciate you sitting down here, and we're going to sit here and drink some coffee and hang out a little bit more, but we will end this deal. And I appreciate you sitting here, and it was very nice meeting you.
Nice meeting you too.
It's been a pleasure, my friend.
Yeah. Same here.
I guess come back and join us. We're going to end this here, and you can thank you guys for joining us. And don't forget to pick up some Grant Brothers coffee. Stacy says it's pretty good. I like it too. Great.